Hi. At this point, I don't think I need to say what my name is. What my name is, 'cause I already put enough videos out. Whoever been watching, you should know what my name is. There are lots of things happening right now, and a lot of rumors of things that are allegedly supposed to come down. But most people seem to be oblivious to any of these things. When I say most people, I mean it's specifically most black people. It's almost like they are the new caveman. Black people have become the new cave people. They are totally clueless from what I'm seeing when I talk to most black people, or when I'm watching what's going on YouTube or what they talk about. So, and when I say most black people specifically, I mean most descendants of the enslaved black people. Notice I didn't say the slaves, I mean the enslaved, because we were never slaves. We were enslaved. We basically, what happened to us, we got subjugated and robbed of everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. I mean religion, identity, culture, language, lands, history, everything, etc. and etc. After all that happened, we were told that we cannot have any leaders of our own. And if we do have a leader, and if that leader is looking after us, after our well-being, this guy will not live that long. For instance, recently in Haiti, we had this guy named, a president named Jovenel. It looked like he was really for the Haitian people. He was after the Haitian people well-being, and even other black people, because he did have this guy that be talking a lot of stuff, like Kanye coming to Haiti and wanted to work with Kanye. So he did look like he was really for Haitians and other black people. Before you know it, the minute he told them, do not bring whatever jabs, whatever liquid you have in something to inject people with to Haiti, days later, he was murdered the worst way. So, to me, it looks like black people are not supposed to have any type of leaders. They're only given puppets. Let us examine leaders and puppets. They say a leader is the person who climbs the biggest tree and then let the people know that the enemies are coming. So obviously, puppets have to be doing the opposites. Based on the kind of leaders you see black people have today, they are none but puppets. So if a leader is the guy who climbs the tallest tree, so the puppet must be the one who climbed the leader climbs the tallest tree, so the puppet has to climb the smallest tree. At least he has to pretend that he's doing his job because he's climbing a tree. And then instead of letting the people know that the enemies are coming, I guess he's gonna let the enemy know where the people are hiding. And that's the kind of leaders I see that black people, the descendant of the enslaved people, because we were never slaves. If you check out the word slave, it comes from the word Slav, and those people were not black. historically speaking, the Slavs, they were originally, well, they were European, just like you have Yugoslav. It's still the same thing. So black people were never slaves. We got enslaved. We were enslaved. So these puppets, they are not looking for the well-being of black people. If you go back into slavery days, you had two types of characters back in slavery days that were similar to leaders and puppets. You had Uncle Tom and Sambo. In our time, a lot of us have been misled, miseducated to believe that Uncle Tom was a bad guy. He was the one who was like a house Negro who would go to the enemy, to the slave master, and ratted out the slaves. But that was totally a lie. Uncle Tom was really an uncle to the slaves. He was always looking out for the slaves. And if you see any slave was about to get beaten, something bad was about to be done to those slaves, he did whatever he had to do to make sure the slave masters did not find out, even if he had to get whipped himself. And the Sambo guy was really the real Uncle Tom, the Sambo type of leader back in slavery days. He was really the one that would make sure, even if the slaves didn't even do, slaves would look just like him, they didn't even do anything wrong, he would go as far as lying to the masters to make sure the slaves got whipped. So that's the kind of leaders I see that black people have these days. And white supremacy makes sure that's the only leaders black people have. Because when they come out with their plans to do something to the black community, those leaders are not supposed to come and talk about it and warn the so-called blacks, enslaved people, let them know what's going on. Because look at this time. How is it that before so-called COVID happened, how is it that no real black leaders knew that was a conspiracy to bring down the so-called black population? How is that no leaders, no pastors, no rappers, nobody? Because in this time, the black leaders are really like the rappers or the other musicians or celebrities and some pastors. How is it that no black leaders came to warn black people about COVID? Because when you check out COVID was supposed to be something. First, when it started, they said, well, the whole media, the whole white supremacy media, they kept saying, well, this disease has nothing to do with black people. It's not going to hurt no black people. Black people doesn't, black people don't catch it. That was all the setup until later on you see black people were dying like flies. That was a disease where black people, since we are at the bottom of everything and everywhere, if you have disease and you're the one who have the least amount of money to take care of yourself, so that means you were the one who was supposed to really fall victim to that disease the most. But no black leaders came out to even warn any black people what was going on. So in this time, it is definitely clear black people have none but puppets. When Malcolm X was a leader, this government, especially the CIA, the FBI, they said they're gonna make sure that they never have another black messiah like Malcolm X. The minute they see a little spark a black leader is rising, it's not gonna be good for that black leader. Either he's gonna get killed, well, not assassinated, murdered, or locked up for a long amount of years. Look at most black leaders, even the weak ones. Look what happened to them. When you had Khalid Muhammad, look what happened to him. Even when you had a little black dude like Bob Marley, he's not really a real leader, talking about black people's freedom, and you still have theory that he was murdered. That's how much in this time black people are not supposed to have no leaders. And black people are really scared to even stick their neck out to be leaders because they feel like they're gonna be killed. Look at in hip hop. Even these guys who really, their words a lot of time are really powerful. They have a lot of people, a lot of fans watching them, listening to them, idolize them, worship them like they are gods. But the minute you see a leader, one of those rappers, start forming some type of group, a bunch of so-called black people together, and they start talking about it, eventually what happened? They're labeled like gangsters. They get put in jail. They use RICO on them, or they get shot. So black people really, out of everybody, because I'm saying black because if you're not black, you say, why are you only talking about black people? Because everybody else got leaders to look out for them. They have leaders, like they say, that will climb the highest tree and see the enemy's coming. But black people don't. Black people, they make sure they get distracted by BS in the media or all type of religions that's gonna teach them outdated prophecies, things that already been passed or that never passed, that will never happen. But they put black people to sleep with these things. So now, like I said, when you had COVID, you had no really black leaders sticking their necks out to warn black people, yo, be careful. Now, I got this video I'm gonna put in this video, a brief little video where Joe Biden is talking. Old Joe. He's supposed to have an Indian lady next that looked black next, well, that's not even black, some Indian lady next to him. When really she when you check out her history, she did nothing but bad things to get a lot of black people incarcerated. That black woman, whatever her name is, that Indian, well, she's not even black, Indian woman pretending to be black, she's not really looking out for black people. They only put her there for her to look like she's black when she's not. So you have this guy, Joe. I'm gonna play the video. He's talking about we need to prepare for another pandemic. We just finished dealing with a crazy Planned-Demic, not even a pandemic, a Planned-Demic that destroys so many lives, so many families. Now this guy's talking about another Planned-Demic. How the hell, what is he, a psychic? Obviously, to me, if he's talking like this, he's not talking about a really accidental pandemic coming. How the hell you gonna know what accident is gonna happen with a pandemic? That's another Planned-Demic, but you have no black leaders letting black people know a storm is getting ready to come. So you guys, you better start preparing yourselves. And then when you read all type of stuff, talking about rumors that we have famine coming. There's this site called depopulation.org. When you and a bunch of other people talking about, well, because of this war, a famine is coming. A famine is imminent. There's no stopping it. It's coming, and nobody can do anything about it, because you have a country like Russia that's feeding a bunch of countries in the world. That's responsible for a lot of resources to be sold worldwide. Now you have Ukraine, who's on one side of the gang, part of another gang. Well, wants to be part of another gang, although he's not part of the gang yet. But now he's getting incited. Ukraine getting incited to fight the dude that's feeding a lot of people. Not even the food. The food that the country that's responsible for a lot of, I guess, our fuel for our cars, and then they're gonna let a war like this start, or even keep going, or even go and mess with this guy. Now what's happening? What's happening now? People have cars, they can't even drive the cars because gas is getting higher and higher and higher every day. Eventually, if it keeps getting worse, besides the food's getting destroyed, like I said, when you read that thing, they have rumors saying, well, we only have maybe 6 weeks of wheat left to feed people. So if you don't have wheat, even the animals that we eat, like chicken and these things that eat wheat, that need to eat those grains, they're gonna have to die. So now, food rumor is being talked about. Well, fuel, definitely, we see everybody who drives, we know. Even if you don't drive, you know what's going on with fuel. And then this guy talking about a new Planned-Demic is coming through, which I'm gonna play the video. And then you have no black leaders going around telling black people, look, we don't know if these things are gonna be true, but get ready. Get ready. Start saving some food. Because I remember when there was a blackout a few years ago. I think around that time, I still remember when LeBron was like 18 years old, because he was in Hot 97. There was a little blackout for like 2-3 days. Before you know it, there was so much panic. All the food inside the supermarkets on the shelves, they were done, and people got panicked. Now there's a rumor of worse coming. Imagine truck companies can't even buy gas to have their trucks running to deliver food. Wars destroying food. And then there's also another rumor where maybe in the fall there's gonna be a crazy power shortage, blackout, where we're gonna be without electricity for days or weeks. But all these rumors, where are the black leaders out here to warn, especially black people who are always not equipped or ready? Where are those black leaders? Where are those rappers that people listen to? Every time a rapper gets shot or something happens to a rapper or whatever, or to a celebrity, all the celebrities out here talking about it. Last time, this idiot Will Smith went and slapped Chris Rock. Then it was big news. But when real news is supposed to be out there to warn people, like, look, bad things are coming. Get ready, prepare yourself. You don't want to be caught with your pants down. But you have no black leaders. No black leaders warning black people about these things coming. So black people, it's just like in that movie says, I feel sorry for your mama. Like when the Chinese said in that movie, was it Menace Society? I feel sorry for your mama. Man, wow. The whole world should feel sorry for you, for your mama. You black people, like, damn, you have no leaders, nobody out here tell us what's coming for us. especially us. And when another black leader get taken down for whatever thing they put on that so-called black leader, no other black leaders say, look, man, we see what's happening here. You didn't take him down because he did this. You have no proof that he did this. The minute a black person want to act like a black leader, he stick his neck out. Then you have white supremacists using their whole power coming down on that black leader. Look at Bill Cosby. Well, lucky for him, he didn't get murdered. He could have been murdered. The minute he stick his neck out, going against white supremacy, saying, look, man, all these black stereotypes you're putting on TV, they gotta go. I'm gonna buy my own station. I'm gonna be able to broadcast all the positive things for black people, and all those black stereotypes, they will not be on my station. What happened? What happened to him? Before you know it, he got what? Blackmailed? Well, I guess because he was black. A bunch of crazy white women coming out saying, no, he raped me, although there was no proof, just to make an example out of him. And then what happened to him? They shut him up. They made him sit down for a little bit, and then they brought him out. And then after that, what happened? You never heard anything from him. So he got the point. For example, another example, you got Kobe, when he was talking about starting his own NBA in China, over there, overseas. Before you know it, well, NBA that was going to be better than the NBA in America. And before you know what happened, oh, he got into a helicopter, and then the helicopter came down. And a lot of these black leaders, well, black people, they are really leaders that's trying to lead black people in which whatever it is, whether it's music, whether it's sports. A lot of these black people, sometimes they act like their heads are inside their asses. They don't even, it's like they don't even know how to act. They act like they brainless. Well, sorry for the word asses, for in case some kids are listening. You know, basically butts. They have their heads inside their butts. In other words, they act brainless. They're gonna do something, they know there's a repercussion coming, and they leave themselves without any type of protection. It's just like the president in Haiti, Jovenel. He knew he gonna go to another country to sign all type of agreements with another country like Turkey, sign all type of agreements for these people to help Haiti, when they know America doesn't want Haiti to go anywhere. America wants Canada, France. Because of Haitian doing that independence, they want to make sure that their feet are on Haitian necks forever. Now this guy gonna go to another country that is definitely not friends with America. He's gonna go to Turkey. America's what, number 1 in NATO? Turkey's number 2. A lot of times, if you read about Turkey, there are times where America would send their soldiers to do some dumb thing in some other countries. Turkey would send their soldiers behind those American soldiers to take them out, to do that thing and say, get out. So Jovenel, he knew what he was doing by going to Turkey and signing things for Turkey to help Haiti. When he knew damn well that America doesn't want Haiti to be helped. And then he gonna come back to Haiti and act like everything is all good in the hood. He gonna leave himself unprotected. And then what happened? In his own house, he was murdered the worst way. So a lot of these guys, it's like Kobe. He's suing pharmaceutical companies for whatever steroids they put in for and stuff for athletes to be taken. He was suing taking big companies, giant companies to court. But at the same time, he's walking around like everything is all good in the hood. If you're gonna make some, as a so-called black leader, if you're gonna make some big moves that you know your enemies are coming for you, it's either you're gonna make those moves and protect yourself, or don't make any moves at all. Because that is suicide. You know you got powerful enemies. It's just like that rapper Nipsey Hussle when he died. It's like a week before he died, he said he got powerful enemies. And then he got caught on the streets in front of his store. He got shot, and he knew enemies were coming for him. You can't be out there knowing you have enemies, and then you're in a position to open up people's eyes. Well, me, I'm on no level to do that, no level at all. But if I was on that level to open up people's eyes with my words, I would have been like Bin Laden, although they still got him. I guess he wasn't hiding. He wasn't hiding in the right spot. I would have been in some mountains and sent messages. Even King Solomon, when you read the Bible, he knew he had enemies. Every time he was sleeping, the Bible said he had 400 soldiers in his bedchamber watching him, in front, watching him, to make sure when the enemies come, he's prepared. Then you're gonna have Jovenel, the president of Haiti. He knows he's a target, not only a target by white supremacy, by America, also by the mulattoes who are with white supremacy, to make sure black people in Haiti doesn't own anything. So he's gonna be doing all this knowing he got big enemies. Then he gonna act like it's all good in the hood. Those black leaders, they need to stop doing things like this, or else don't even start. Don't even start. Because like I said, a leader is supposed to be the person that climbed the highest tree. And when he see the enemies coming, the enemies are coming, he has to let everybody know the enemy's coming. And if he's a real leader, he's supposed to let the people know, look, the enemy's coming, we're not running. The enemy's coming for us, we're gonna fight. We're not running. Or else if you're gonna run, although Bob Marley said you can run one day and come back another day. I mean, maybe sometime you may have to run. But if you're gonna be a leader, you know you have enemies. You're talking all type of things against your enemies. And you're out there leading people, making people feel like you got their backs. And then when the enemy come, and what do? You go in the street and march. We shall overcome. As long as these black leaders think like this, let's march. Let's do the Black Lives Matter march, whatever, that gay march, that whatever that something what they call that group, LGBT queer group, whatever. You black people need to stop following leaders that are not ready to protect you. All they're gonna tell you to do, go do a march and then go cry about it home. And then let's pretend nothing happened. Listen, if you're a leader, it's just like when Malcolm X was a leader. I mean, he did try until they used other Sambo Negroes to set him up and murder him. I guess he wasn't really ready yet. Although he did have he did talk the talk, but he couldn't walk the walk. Well, that's all I have to say with what I'm seeing going on, especially with things coming. Things are supposed to be coming like food shortages coming, and you black people still sleeping, and you are the most you are the most broke people on earth. If any catastrophe comes, you're gonna, us black, we'll get hurt the most because we are not equipped. So with this, that's what I'm gonna say about this thing. Shalom.
More money for vaccines for children eventually. We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead. And that's not something the last outfit did very well. That's something we've been doing fairly well. That's why we need the money.